The courtroom was silent enough to hear the hum of the ceiling fan, a silence that felt like judgment itself. Marcus Carter stood tall, wrists bound in steel cuffs, eyes locked on the man who would decide his future. Judge Whitmore, a man known for his no-mercy sentences, leaned forward with that same crooked smirk everyone in the county feared. "Marcus Carter," he said, voice dripping with false authority. "For your crimes, this court sentences you to life in prison without parole." The words hit like gunfire. People gasped, whispered. Marcus just stood there, calm, unbroken. The bailiff moved toward him, but Marcus lifted his head. "Your Honor," he said quietly, "before I go, may I make one phone call?" A ripple of laughter moved through the room. The prosecutor chuckled. Even the judge tilted his head, amused. "One phone call?" he mocked. "You think that'll change anything, son?" Marcus didn't answer. He just looked the man dead in the eye, the kind of look that says, "You'll regret this." 12 hours earlier, Marcus had been walking home from school, backpack slung over his shoulder, when 2 police cruisers screeched beside him. "Hands where we can see 'em!" they shouted. They said he matched a description, a wanted fugitive. A black hoodie, a backpack, and dark skin were apparently all the evidence they needed. He told them he was a student. They didn't listen. He told them his name. They didn't care. And that's how he ended up here, judged for a crime he didn't commit. In a courtroom that had already decided who he was. Back to the courtroom. The guard handed Marcus the phone. He dialed one number, calm, precise. The whole room watched, whispering, smirking. 1 ring, 2. Then a voice. Deep, controlled, and powerful. "Jonathan Carter speaking." The courtroom shifted. Some people froze. The name sounded familiar. Marcus's voice was soft but steady. "Dad, it happened again." For a moment, there was silence. Then the voice on the other end turned to steel. "Stay exactly where you are, son." He hung up. If you're still watching this story, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, because what's about to happen next will leave you speechless. 30 seconds later, the courtroom doors burst open. 2 U.S. Marshals stormed in, followed by 3 federal agents. The judge's gavel slammed down. "What is the meaning of this?" The lead marshal stepped forward, handing him a document sealed with a gold insignia. "Effective immediately. This case falls under federal review," the marshal said, "by direct order of the United States Attorney General." The judge blinked, pale as paper. The Attorney General?" "Yes," the marshal replied. "Jonathan Carter, father of Marcus Carter." The entire courtroom gasped. The prosecutor dropped his pen. Even the bailiff took a step back. A moment later, the double doors opened again, slowly this time. A tall man in a dark suit entered, every step deliberate. Jonathan Carter, the U.S. Attorney General himself. He didn't speak at first. He didn't have to. The silence in the room now was fear, not judgment. He walked straight up to the bench, looked the judge in the eye, and said quietly, "You sentenced my son." Without evidence, without counsel, and without cause. The judge stammered, "Mr. Carter, I didn't know." Jonathan interrupted him, voice calm but cutting. "No, you did know. You just didn't care." He turned to the marshals. "Release him." The chains came off. The metallic click echoed louder than any gavel. Marcus took a deep breath, free air again. His father placed a firm hand on his shoulder. Then Jonathan turned to the courtroom one last time. "You've spent years teaching my son that justice isn't meant for him," he said, his voice low but thunderous. "Now you'll learn what real justice looks like." Outside, reporters swarmed as father and son stepped out into the sun. Marcus didn't speak. He didn't have to. His silence was power, calm, dignified, unbroken. He didn't win by shouting. He won by standing tall, because when truth walks into the room, even power has to bow its head.